Hello,
Ha!
You guys are in KLD Ranch today for our market update, where Lance and I are going to be giving you the yeehaw.
This is not everybody lives by the beach.
Yeah, that's right. So this guys, you guys give a chance to be at what's the elevation here?
We're 1850 elevation. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's a different world up here. You get a chance to have a fire in front of you. You get a chance to wear some jeans, sitting there with your little hat on. You got your arena behind us.
Oh, and we got our who's today's sponsor? Well, this is our fantasy sponsor.
Yeah, the Maui Brewing Company.
Maui Brewing Company.
And I'm back to Old Ola.
Back to Old Ola. So,
but this one's an organic hard tea.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. So, cheers.
Cheers, you guys. Hey, we're doing something different. Let us know if you like these little on-location shoots. We'll go around different places. The yeehaw is probably not going to be for people who are trying to put their condos on the market.
But that's all right.
That's okay.
There's more to Hawaii than condos and beach, and we're still going to tell you about the condos.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So there we go.
Yeah, and also we have a special guest today. We're going to have Kimmy Nagatoshi coming in. She's also a homeowner here at KLD Ranch.
Yeah,
and she wants to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on with the property taxes. You're going to want to know it if you are watching our show and you are local and you own a home. You're going to need to know a little bit of information about this. So we'll pull her out here in a few minutes. But in terms of what's happening with the housing market,
let's jump right into it.
In.
We've got something different today because you know how I always like to pull one on Julie and see what her opinion is. So I have not looked at these numbers. I printed them and I just got running behind and I never looked at them. So I'm going to see them as you see them. The only thing I did look at is the number of active listings. So on the active listings on homes, we've got 139. And then on condos, we got 184. Really, that number should be reversed in a normal market. That number should be reversed. And
because you said a good market for single family homes is 216 on the market.
No, 160. 160, yeah.
Oh, that's a good market.
And
how many do we have right now?
That's a fair market. We got 139.
So we're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there for a fair market. Condos should be 135, 125, 135 in there.
And they're 185.
So, yeah, they're 184. So
they're stacking up like a bag of Legos.
All right, so we got to look at the numbers. Let's see again. This is going to be a surprise to me, too. So residential home sales for the month of March, this year versus last year. Last year there's 36, and this year there was 39 sales. So it's an 8% increase in the number of single-family homes that sold last month.
Oh, okay.
On condos, there was 32 that sold last year. There was 30 that sold this year. So close enough. It's a 6% drop.
Right.
Is what it says.
But that last year we had half as many people selling their condos.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. So let's look at year to date really quick while we're here. That comes up on the report. So year to date homes are at 107, and last year they were at 104. So up 2% year to date. Condos were 67 last year, and we're at 82 this year. So we're up 22%.
For condo sales?
For condo sales,
okay.
Year to date.
Okay.
Yeah, so January, February, March, right?
Okay.
All right, so what are we doing?
With the median price for condos.
Median price. Oh, I forgot for fun, I printed 2018.
Oh, 2018.
Yeah, let's just, while we're on those numbers.
Just to see kind of what a normal market is.
2018 was a normal market prior to the lava flow in 2018. So what we're looking at here, normal market, they had 58 sales for residential homes.
58.
In 2018.
And you had 30.
And we had 39.
Okay, so
39 versus 58.
Okay.
Condos in 2018, 40 sold versus 30. So
the market has slowed down.
Yeah. Market slowed down below normal rate. So, all right, let's jump into We're going to be sick when we see median prices.
Yeah.
On the homes, and I haven't looked at it yet.
I'm like, what?
I don't know what it's going to be. So. 2000. This is surprising.
What?
Median price on homes went from last year it was 1.475, 1,475,000. This year it's 1,525,000.
No way. Is that a record?
I think that is. I'd have to go back and look.
That's crazy.
That's a big number. Yeah, that's interesting. So it's up 50,000 over a year ago, or 3.39%. Let's go year to date in case there were some anomalies. I like it when we're 3 or 4 months into the year.
Because we can get something going on.
Yeah. So we were at 1.385 last year at this time, and we're at 1.42 this year at this time.
Okay.
So 2.5% increase.
Yeah.
Condos, condos, 612 a year ago, and 695 this year.
I'm not seeing this in the market. I don't know where he's getting these numbers.
I make them up. I just go in there and manipulate.
There just seems there's a lot of condos in the 475, 500 range right now. But there are like $1 million condos that are on the oceanfront that are selling pretty quickly. So that'll obviously skew your numbers, right?
Well, I mean, but that happens every...
I know. It's just so weird.
Every
it's just
year it does happen.
Every year it happens.
I mean, it's just the nature of the business every month, every year. So let's just look at... All right, I got some more stuff I printed up here, you guys. Let's take a look at... Oh, it's going to be fun. I'm going to burn this afterward.
Yeah.
So, condos, just talking about sales, I looked it up, and we have some at... You look at I mean, there's some at $3.8 million cash, $4.3 million cash, $4.9 million cash.
These are single-family homes.
No, these are
These are condos?
Condos, $11 million cash.
Where is this?
Cottages. I don't know what that is exactly.
Dude.
It's 3-7. That's all I know.
But what is that even? Holly
Maybe we'll look that up and post it in the remarks.
Hina?
Oh, no, this one.
Yeah, but what about
that one's $5 million.
I know, but where is that?
That's got to be out by the airport up there. No, the one by the airport.
Koiniki?
Kohanaiki.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so these are luxury properties, though.
But they've always been included. Every month, we always include these. So we're not doing anything different this month.
Okay, maybe like
we're using
multi-million-dollar condos are selling.
Oh, cash. Everything over $2 million sold for cash. So interesting.
Yeah. Let's talk about the schmo market. What do you mean?
My market? Your market?
Yeah,
our market?
The people who are looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo along Ali'i Drive, those kinds of condos.
Well, we're looking at
let's kind of like do an eyeball.
Keho Palena sold at $489. Kona Plaza $495. Kona Sea Ridge $541.
Okay.
Ali'i Cove $550.
Okay.
Kona Eastwind, you've sold some in there, $570.
Okay.
Keho Punahele, $620.
Okay.
Surf and Racket, $700. So Ali'i Park Place, wow, $745.
That's a lot for that.
Yeah, that's a good deal on that one.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking at. Kind of like sixes. So,
Well, that's where the medium price comes in.
Yeah. Yeah, but when you throw in these condos that are like $5 million, we live with those people too. Yeah.
And now we got all distracted again. We went over the median prices. We're good there. 2018. Let's jump into the median price in 2018. Condos. Median price 2018.
285.
Well, that was 17. It was 367 was the median price in 2018. You want to know what the median price on a home was?
6 something.
780.
780. They'd already started bumping.
Yeah. It was 574 the year before that.
Yeah.
2017.
Now, is it okay? And then we're gonna go back here a little bit because someone said it's all about the interest rates. Do you remember what the interest rates were in 2018? We weren't down
6s.
Yeah, we weren't down to 3 at that
yeah.
point, right? It didn't get into like the 4s and that kind of stuff until 2019, and then went nuts in 2021. It really went down it's like 3 and 2 in 2021, right?
It'd be interesting. Do we have Lance or anybody out there, or Brad?
Hey, Eric, can you do like a little check on that?
Yeah.
When was it 2018? Because I'm just wondering.
Check interest rates for
2018. Because there's a couple of reasons why there's a lot of condos on the market right now, and it's not specifically, obviously, about the interest rates. It's about HOA fees, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
HOA fees because of insurance rates.
Insurance rates. So I'm gonna put him on the spot real quick. If the HOA fees are going up and the insurance is going up and property taxes are going up, wouldn't it state that the house prices have to come down to make it so the investors can pencil?
That's what they like to tell you.
Okay.
And in 99% of the markets, that's a fact.
Okay.
But in Hawaii, the numbers have never penciled. Okay, I mean, I have anybody that's come in and talked to me, you guys, you know that I've always said, your only thing you're going to do here, you're not going to come to Hawaii and make money unless you bought in 2004 or 2009
or 2018.
Yeah, even in 2018 we did, but by that standard, even in 2018, the standard, you got to put 50% down to break even. You know, you're really just offsetting your home ownership costs. That's all you're doing. Here, you're not making money. This is not a place to come make money. This is not California. This is not Tahoe. This is not anything
This
else.
is not next to a university in some university town.
Yeah. This is
What
Hawaii.
interest rate you guys want?
Yeah, what is it?
Give it to us.
2018, right? Average interest rate was 4.7.
Oh, it was a little bit low. 4.7.
Yeah.
Eric told us.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit
Eric's
easier.
sitting here relaxing by the
Yeah,
fire.
he's having
good
drinking
beer in
beer.
his hand. You look right at home.
So
That's good.
417 isn't actually a decent mortgage rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be good if we got down into the fives again, into 5, like right around 5 would be an awesome time, because you still need to make money. You know, it was where we were at was crazy. It was going to lead us into trouble. I think it did create some of this problem, obviously, because it just created. It was too easy to buy a home, and the people. It's kind of sad because some of the stuff that was being offset by a lot of people didn't realize that if you said, I'm going to take it easy and take a forbearance on my mortgage, I can get that for 6 months.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt your credit, didn't do nothing, but nobody loaned a dime to anybody that was in forbearance. So even though everything was fine, it didn't hurt your credit and all that, it still took you out from buying things, took you out from student loans, took you out from buying a car, took you out from a lot of things that they didn't disclose up front. So, yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah, but do you think those are the people who bought condos here?
I think a lot of people invested. That was like the one time where you can invest and get in close.
Yeah.
We got noodles here, you guys. Noodles?
Noodles. Kentucky dog. I will say though that during that time frame, I had some of my personal friends that came here that were able to buy condos. Single women, people who just wanted this as a second home to have for the rest of their lives, and they got in at like, $300,000, unless they were like maybe 289 for 4.5%. So
that was great, and it was good to help people get in. What it was bad for the people that came about multiple places,
Yeah. And people at 2022, looking back, would you say 2022 basically was the height of the market?
Probably, looking back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
2022, that sounds about right.
yeah. So.
Oh, I know what you're going to ask me next. What are you going to ask me next? How much were condos on
I want
sale
to see
for?
I want to see the days on the market.
How much were they on sale for? That's the number.
Yeah.
This is the number you've been waiting for.
Okay, here we go. So I think that 95.
Median price from original list price, 91%.
91.
91%. So that was a 9% sale this year.
Yeah, because
this
I do
month.
see a lot of people price cutting.
Yeah, that is. And interesting, the median price on sale to the price that it's sold,
So by the time they lowered the price,
they lowered the price
Then
to
they
what it
got
should have been. Then they came
98.
98%.
yeah, because they lowered it to what the market would bear.
They listened to their realtor.
Yeah.
They lowered it to what the market would bear.
Yep.
And they got 98% of that. So that was that's
Still a
interesting.
2% haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
not
we're
bad.
kind of seeing that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I am seeing that.
Yeah,
too,
we
so.
just we had some buyers just bought a house, and that's exactly what happened. It came on high in the market, they lowered the price, and then it was on the market even longer, and they lowered the price a little bit again, and then our people came right in, and they didn't lower the price again, but it had already been lowered twice, so that's by that time, they're probably down about at least 10%.
Yeah. Close to it,
Yeah.
9%.
Yeah.
So, in looking at homes,
How is that?
I didn't look at it either, so I just now looking at it. Homes to original price, sale to original price was 97.5%.
Okay.
The original. And if they dropped the price, they got to 98.4%.
Okay, so they're still getting 97%.
97% on home. The
Okay.
original price, right?
Yeah.
Days on market, median days on market,
50.
9.
59.
9.
9 days on market.
Median.
Get out.
Average was 46. Median was, so right down the middle there was
Okay.
9 days.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with this, you guys. I've seen houses that were good and priced right the first time, and people who are out there hovering, because there's a lot of hoverers right now,
Yeah.
will say, okay, I'm gonna go in and get that. right?
Yeah.
And I know I talked to a realtor the other day. She said she actually had multiple offers on her property, which is like kind of shocking. But I've also been seeing $10,000, $20,000 cuts sitting on the market for a while. So it's almost like if you don't price it immediately really well to begin with, it's going to sit for a while, and then you're going to get beaten down by 10%.
Highest days on the market was 441 days.
Wow.
Something's on the market. I think that was a foreclosure one or something.
Yeah.
Something that was really unappealing. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. So
Yeah. And then what's days on market for condos?
ooh,
That's going to be like,
Good thing you asked me that one. I was going to forget about it. Days on market on condos, median 72 days on the market for a condo. So average is 85. Some people like average, some people like median.
72.
72 days on the market, median days on the market. Longest was 312.
That's a lot.
And obviously it's always a 0 in there for shortest. So So that's interesting. So sale to current price, we talked about that. There was something that went over. So there's 101% was the highest.
Right.
The lowest was 86%. So I think that was it.
So in the median, though, on list of sales is 91% for condos?
On original price, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's just so you
listen
guys
to your
know.
realtor. What do you do for a living?
I sell real estate.
What do I do for a living? I sell real estate.
Right. I counsel my sellers on what the market's actually doing so that they know how to price to begin with. And so we actually are releasing a new listing tomorrow, Lee Villas. And we were going to come in as the lowest price 1-1 condo in that complex. Because I said, if you're serious, price it so you're serious.
Yeah, when
And
you're down,
so-
what are there, 7 or 8 listed in there right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of competition. So
So I figured if you're going to base it on price, and it's an active STVR, and it has a good rental history, but I'm not going to chase down the market. And that's what sometimes when you don't price these right, guys, you end up, one person says I'm going to take down 5, and then you go, I'll go down to 6, and I'll go down there for price it right.
Yeah, price it right to
there
sell it.
seems to be obviously a Lego stacking of condos on the market, right?
Well, you know what's going to be interesting too, when yours comes on the market, that's the new comp. When that sells, that's the new comp.
Yeah.
That's what somebody's going to use when they come to the next one.
Right,
So
right.
I was just talking to someone the other day, and that were running into that problem. They didn't take a price. They had a condo that was a little bit cleaner than the other one on the market. They didn't accept that price, which wasn't a bad price according to their realtor. And their realtor had advised them to take it, and then the competition went off the market the next day. The competition took it, and now that's a new comp that this person's going to have to deal with. So it's a bigger picture than just I paid this for it and this is what I want. There's like your comps. You have to. A bank's going to look at it. The appraiser's going to look at it. The buyer's going to look at that.
Yeah, the buyers. They're like, I know now.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you something too. We met with a possible seller who said, I think my condo is worth $500. And we're like, no, it's more like $450. And she said, but I need $500. I'm like, just because you need the money doesn't mean you're going to get the money because the market is softening. So you either want to be realistic or you don't sell your condo. So they were still kind of figure out what they wanted to do. But it's like almost like going into your boss's, say, I need a raise. Why? Because I need the money.
Yeah, because I bought a new boat. I need a raise. I bought a new boat.
Just because
I'm going fishing this weekend. By the way, I won't be in Sunday.
Right, exactly. I need to have this.
Yeah.
And so I think, again, if you bought in 2022, I just want you guys to realize that was really the top of the market. Now, I was talking to some friends about this today. There's a lot of clickbait out there right now on the internet that the housing market's crashing, that, the whole economy is going to go in the dump, and, we're going to have foreclosures and short sales and all of that. We're not really seeing that.
No.
There is a softening, however.
There's a softening. I looked at something the other day, and I didn't print that here today, but I looked at, well, actually, I did. This is the updated version of it. So, the number of condos, again, that sold in 2018 was 93, and it's 82 this year to date. That's not a crash. That's not any big bubble. That's nothing else. I could not get. We always talk about the drawing a blank, getting old sucks. The
It wasn't his market.
absorption rate.
Absorption rate. That's it.
rate.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. How's
they
that?
don't have the absorption rates out yet,
Oh.
and I wasn't going to sit down there.
Okay, but remember we talked about the buyer's market versus the seller's market and the little number.
Yes, that's the absorption rate as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to just go by the seat of my pants because it really hasn't changed in the last couple of months.
Okay.
We are in a kind of neutral market. We're in between that 15 to 20% absorption rate, and I think that we are, it's a fair market. We're seeing people are talking.
Mosquitoes.
Well, I don't usually get mosquitoes up there too. Interesting. So I think it's a fair market. We are seeing some concessions being made or seeing things like that happen. So.
Yeah. So in that sense, we had a buyer come in.
Uh-huh.
She got a chance to look at 10 houses
Oh,
in the
yeah.
course of a week. And lots to look at, lots to
I
look
remember
at.
those days.
Yeah, it's like I'm working harder now, of
Yeah.
course, because now you guys show 10 houses, not like you get to pick 2. But she got a chance to kind of like take her time, go back and look at the houses like twice, the ones she really loved, and then she was able to kind of like I'd say, okay, what's our strategy here? All in the time that it took for her to make a really good decision for what she wanted to do, which is a good market for buyers. For sellers, I got all
It's
the
eating,
every
interesting
realtor
than
who
mine.
was like, we went and saw their house. So what happened? What happened? How's it going? How's it going? How's it
Get
going?
lots of
Are they gonna
follow-up
come back
emails.
again? What's going on? What's going on? Where that was not the case not that long ago, right?
Right.
Where sellers they had to field 22 offers.
Yeah.
So
You didn't call anybody for feedback.
No.
In the last 5 years,
Right,
there wasn't
yeah.
feedback calls. But prior to that, we always did that. So we're back to business as usual.
Yep.
I think
Sellers
we can
having to be
call it.
nice to the buyer's agents.
Yeah.
The buyer's agents
Yeah.
not having to be completely like kowtowing to the seller's agents, but nice. But there was a time, you guys, seriously, where people would be talking on the internet about the fact that they would put an offer in and they would never hear back from the seller's agent. And they go, well, what's happening? And they go,
You see it go
what?
contingent.
Yeah, he's like, they go, well, I guess you'll get it when you see the contingency goes on. You just didn't win. At least we're not that bad. So
No, and that was terrible. We've talked about this before, but I had people that said, "Oh, you guys love that," and it was horrible. It was the worst market. I've been 21 years now in this. I saw 2005 happen. Sorry, we heard a loud noise.
so did they.
I saw 2005 happen where the prices skyrocketed up, and then I saw 2008, 9, and 10 happen, and then I was saying this, and this is nothing like those days, and what we just went through was nothing like the 2005, 6, era. It wasn't like that. So it's a whole new market that we've had to adjust to and learn. But we're getting back to the basics. You got to work for a living. You got to get these things out there. You're going to have multiple showings. You're going to be out there for months, and just be prepared for that as a seller or as a buyer.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happening. So
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. You're just
listen
gonna,
to your realtor. Make sure they did a good comparative market analysis to make sure the values are there, and to make sure that is, a fair price. So you want to be in that. You want to be in that 98%. You don't want to be in that 91%.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well,
your 98% might have been the 91 because you thought your house was worth more than it's actually going to sell for. Just trying to loosen the load here, guys, because there's nothing worse than somebody who says, "I know my house is worth this," and then you have to say, "You know what? But this market has changed." So if you're getting your property value off of Zillow doesn't know what's happening with the local market. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so with our subject.
we got a
Going
question.
forward, we got Dean Kaler and James Porter and Lori Porter and Tammy Baker and
Hey, we got a lot of
all
people
saying
to-
aloha.
Aloha, you
Aloha.
guys.
And congratulations to Dean, who will be a proud owner of a condo in Ali'i Villas as well.
Oh, nice.
And I think the condo that you just bought has a better view than the one I'm going to be putting on sale tomorrow. But we like it when people buy houses and they get a chance to live in our community and do great things for our community. So thank you. And
Thank
who else is on there? So the Bonds
Yeah, the Porters too.
and the Porters. Yeah.
Hi, Porter. Hi,
Hi.
guys.
We like
And
our nice little audience. And look at you guys. Is this a cool place to do a video? Look at, we're
have
wearing
to
our
let
little
you guys
hats,
see,
you know? Yeah, the Porters,
horses
we
are
appreciate
right there.
that. Yeah.
The tractor's right there.
Yeah. So, do you want to bring Kimmy in to talk
Yeah,
about
so
taxes?
we're going to bring in my wife, Kimmy. She's going to brief things just about what's happening with the tax, what's going on there. I'm going to unmic myself and mic her up. It's my lovely wife of 35 years. And she, what do you do for a living, Kimmy? She sells real estate.
Yep, there she is.
Come on in.
She's
Have a
joining
seat.
us. Here, you gotta take that so she can
Don't
use
take
her own
that.
space there.
Yeah.
She's got her easy rider.
I got my Easy Rider.
Let me mic her up. There you go.
All right, thank you. Hi, everybody.
Kimmy Nagatoshi's her name.
Right? You might see
Yeah.
her signs out there with Luva.
And obviously, Lance, and I'm his wife. I have a big background in statistics, neurobiology background. So therefore, I crunch numbers, and that's what I do. So, but bottom line is, hi, Noodles. Obviously,
here.
he's my dog.
Be friend.
Is the 2025 property taxes came out very recently, I think within the last week or so. So I've been getting a lot of calls from sellers that have been getting tax bills and they were questioning if it's theirs or not. And also from buyers who are questioning the amounts. So, I threw it on a spreadsheet for a couple of condo subdivisions, and I can't figure out heads or tails if it's the square footage or
View.
or whatever. It just makes no sense. So, but bottom line is, you have until April 9th to do an
Appeal.
appeal.
Appeal to the assessor's office, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and again, some of these assessment or what is it? The tax assessments are same as they were last year. Some are going up, some are going down. So if you have bought with anybody, any realtor, and have questions about that, again, the 2025 assessments just came out. And you have questions about that, reach out to your realtor.
Yeah.
For help, ma'am.
In fact, I just got a call from a gentleman who sold a condo here, and he lives in Los Angeles, and he said, I
Yeah.
got this bill. Is this mine to pay? And I said, you sold your house. You are no longer responsible for anything to
Right.
do with the taxes.
Right.
So don't let that be, if you got something, you've already sold your house, you are not responsible for anything on it anymore. But the like when we got our taxes just recently, they actually had gone down. But if you get something where you're shocked because you just bought a house,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, what the heck? Call the county, right?
Yeah, call them up and
Yeah.
And
Don't
you have
just put
until
up with
April
it.
9th.
Yeah, after the 9th.
April
no,
9th.
you can't be talking.
To do some sort of appeal. But yeah, and again, it makes no rhyme or reason.
Oh, the fact that, I know what it was, because the county sometimes is a little slow. Yes.
I'm going to jump in too, and there is some things that change. I hope you guys can hear me okay, but I'll move closer to Kimmy. So some things have changed too with the agricultural write-off. So if you own land and you're getting ready to build, and you've been getting some type of agricultural write-off, they've changed the rules on that this year too. So you have to have put in a business plan and showing how you're using it for agricultural purposes. So I was at a mayor's luncheon the other day, and they were talking, and the mayor was like, this is why, I might have 3 cows on my 3 acres, and I butcher, I just rotate them out and butcher them every year or two, and I give my neighbor some. The guy to the right of me does fishing. He's always bringing me fish. So I give them some meat and that type of thing. I don't have a business plan. I've been doing this for 50 years.
We lived in a house just like that when we lived with 2 cows in our front yard.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
I was really hoping you weren't going to go down that rabbit hole, but if you do own land and I have been struggling or questioning why you're paying this much versus that much,
Did they change it?
no,
Yeah,
it is
it's changed
huge.
this year.
Yeah.
One of the council members introduced something last year. I won't mention, no names please on this.
So
but it
if
was-
you do own something, just call us.
call your realtor.
Call your
If
realtor.
your realtor doesn't answer, we'll be your realtor.
Yeah, there you go. And we were joking. You said, if it's too much for you, we'll sell your house too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, totally.
but also a lot of people were using, like ag. They was calling it ag land, and they have a chicken or two or something on it,
Yeah.
and getting a tax write-off.
Beehives.
Right. So maybe that the county thought people were
Taking advantage
scofflaw,
of
and they were like taking advantage of it, and they decided to tighten it up. So
I mean, that is the reasoning behind it, but it's interesting because the mayor said, you know what? He goes, maybe 20% of the people were doing that, and 80% weren't.
oh, see,
And he goes, if it's that, you don't penalize the 80%.
yeah.
Where the person that introduced the bill felt it was the opposite.
Oh.
80% were taking advantage, 20% weren't. So, like you said, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Okay, we're not going down the political rabbit
Yeah.
hole, but that's the story.
But yeah, so things are changing. The easy ag write-offs that were available prior to this are no longer available or not as easily available, and that's it.
Yeah, just know that.
Yeah.
So you have 3 horses on this property. Do you get an ag write-off?
Not for horses.
Oh, not for horses. Oh, you have to be able to, like, there have to be like stock animals that you'll eat. Like,
Yes.
okay, so
Yeah.
not goats,
Yes.
but it has to be
Or if
something.
we were raising horses to sell. If
Okay.
we were
Oh,
breeding
that's a
horses.
business.
Yeah. If we
Okay.
were breeding horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we were training horses to sell them.
Yeah.
But we have a coffee tree down
Oh, there we go. Okay, coffee trees.
Coffee tree.
Get your farm plan going.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's just information that you guys need to know, because if you're going to buy a home, you should understand how it goes with the property taxes, and also the fact that if you do want, there is a way to actually dispute your property taxes if you feel
There
that
is.
it's unwarranted. So call the other county and talk to the appraiser. Is there anything else that's coming up in terms of legislation stuff that you guys want to chat about?
Nothing big. I've got a meeting. I've always got a meeting the day after this, and the nothing big. The cesspool.
Sorry, I got to get the mic back to him. I don't know how to do
Sorry.
it. Thank you.
So there's nothing changing on the cesspool rules.
Okay, is that really going to be 2030?
No, that's gone. It was failed.
Okay, so now it's going to be 2050.
It's always been 2050.
Okay.
And every year they keep coming after it to make it 2035 and 2040
Okay.
for 1 and 2 zones. So at this point, no, all those failed this year.
Okay, just so you guys know, because I've been getting people, as I'm walking around doing open houses and I'm talking to the realtors, everyone has a different idea of what's going on here.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's the answer.
2050 is the
Okay.
rule. And I think the only thing left going, sadly, the bill to create a department within the Department of Health just to deal with cesspool conversions failed. That's sad. And it failed for the wrong reason. So
Oh.
that's kind of a bummer. And then the one where I think is still alive is grant money that goes out there. But my concern with the grant money, especially without the department within the department to handle this stuff, is we're still waiting for the sewer mapping updates. So
Oh, so this, if you try and change your, you try to septic and then 5 minutes later they're putting a sewer lateral.
sewer line in,
You
yeah.
just wasted your money.
yeah, and if our taxpayer money goes to that and that money's wasted, that's even, well, it's worse. It's terrible for any way that it
Yeah,
goes,
we don't
right?
want to waste
That's
money one way or the other.
terrible. Yeah. So
Well, and I thought that maybe the federal government was going to give us a grant, but that's not going to happen. So,
no, we need to get some people strong at the federal level. Get some of our people up there, and let's bring it home. Let's bring some money home. Let's worry about what's going on, and that would be really good to see.
yeah.
We got
yeah.
somebody there bringing some money back to help us. One thing that the mayor was saying too in our luncheon was that they got to go back to the EPA, because the 2050 rule is not EPA related. That's just a Hawaii law.
Yeah.
But
the EPA wants it faster.
the EPA wants our sewer systems upgraded, and we're in trouble with that. So that is a problem, and we got to go back and get the EPA to give a little bit.
Yeah.
And it leads you down to the deeper rabbit hole of, well, if everybody converts to a septic tank and they have to take out the pumped waste and take it to a sewage plant that's already in violation of the EPA, how are they going to be able to handle 49,000 more
Oh.
septic tanks on the system that's already overloaded? So
It's a thing.
I mean, hopefully this all gets fixed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all want
so,
clean water.
So
in
at
the
the
state.
same Mary's luncheon, he said that to fix the Hilo wastewater treatment plant and the Kona wastewater treatment plant and make it so that it's heading towards the future in Kona, $550 million.
Yeah.
So he was saying that we just need to realize that we're going to have a few like little things that maybe the public can help on, so that we can actually save that money and get that handled, because it's really important to have those wastewater treatment plants set up and ready to go here in Hawaii. And that's another thing too, that just, if there's anybody out there, he said, if we can get more residents to do some of these things and make our tax dollars stretch a little bit more. So one of the things that just happened recently is that the mayor had the old airport strip repaved. So that way you don't have the potholes. It's been crazy. I don't think it's been touched since 1970, whatever. And now it looks great. And they're going to put in they're going to fix that bathroom and put in 2 more. So there's going to be 3
really nice.
functioning bathrooms in Old Airport. But they can
It
only
makes
paint
day-to-day life better.
Yes, it does. It's like the things that you just take.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah,
And
nice
so the there's 2 things that I was like, oh, I just got mad all the time about. I wasn't even thinking about the runway. That was just bonus. But those bathrooms and also those crappy buildings at Old Airport.
Oh my God.
They're going to tear them down.
Yeah.
So they're going to finally demolish these old buildings that have been there since 61. And then I don't know if they're going to put there instead, but at least that's going to be gone. It's an eyesore. But
I've heard that since I moved here, and
they said he's actually on the thing. So
25 years ago I heard that.
yeah, those things that look like that. So, but I'm looking for volunteers who want to help me paint the tables at the pavilion, because the mayor said there's only enough money, resources, and staff to paint them once a year. And so if I can get people out there, we can paint them a little faster, maybe every quarter. Then that way it looks nice when people have parties out in the pavilions. And I think more people would use the pavilions once they realize that bathrooms are functioning nearby.
Yeah.
So it could be a nice
that'd be good.
community experience where people get a chance to drive nice little road out to their nice little pavilion that has a nice little tables with a nice bathroom.
Yeah.
The simple
Maybe they'll
things
bring
in
back
life.
the carnival too.
Yay!
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? So
That would be good.
So these are the things that we're dealing with as issues in our area.
Yeah.
But across the island, he's going out and talking to all the people on these community meetings. So our Kona meeting is going to be on April 15th. If you're watching this and you're local and you want to come out and say something, he's going to be doing that at the Makeo Community Pavilion down at the Old Airport on April 15th from 5:30 until 7. And if you want to have him discuss the one-way Ali'i Drive idea, that he is going to be showing what the DPW, the Public Park Works, is going to do a presentation on April 12th at Holly Halavai at noon. I'm helping spearhead that event so we can get the mayor in front of people with an idea. If it flies or not, public input is sought. And then Rebecca Villegas is going to be on at 11:30 to talk about an ordinance. So they are trying to find solutions. It has to go through the process, but at least if you come out and you are there to be part of the conversation, it will be very helpful. So,
Do you want me to tell you why it's not going to work?
why is that not going to work?
Sorry.
But you haven't seen the presentation. He has a presentation.
I remember this happening 20 years ago. Okay. And what happened is when you take you turn Ali'i Drive into one-way street, Ali'i Drive, Kuakini Highway, and
Walleye?
uh,
Okay, it's going to be from
all those roads
Kulani to Hawaii.
are already overpacked with traffic. Traffic's horrible on all 3 of those roads. And now what you're doing is you're turning Ali'i Drive into one-way road, and nobody can go the other way. So they're all going to funnel into Kuakini Highway, which is already backed up.
But maybe, get this, people are really interesting about how they can change their patterns of behavior when they have to. So if they know that's going to be a one-way street forever, maybe they'll take the upper highway. Because who really needs to go down through the Ocean Way to get home? They they could do other things.
complexes along Ali'i Drive, condo complexes. So I think you got a lot of people, a lot more than you might think, because to be effective, it'd have to go from Hualai Road, right? And they'll probably do it from the 3-way stop, I'm guessing, though,
Yes,
and not
and
Hualai
backwards.
Road.
So that way, if you just have to travel through, you can just not go between the hotel and right there at the new hotel.
But I just saying it's going to be they would have to make the other street one way the other way for this to work. You would have to have 2 one-way streets.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it would work. You can't just take one 2-way street and eliminate one direction of traffic and think that it's not going to overload the other.
Okay.
2.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you guys, because how Lance and I like to have a little chat.
Yeah.
Is that there was a traffic study done before this was even brought up, right? And the Department of Public Works understands that doing something like this to create more free parking downtown is going to help the businesses, to help save downtown. So we're asking the public that maybe they could just hang on, be a little patient if they get a little traffic, realizing that the ultimate goal is to save downtown, so we don't have a dilapidated downtown, lose the cruise ship experience, have no more tax dollars coming in to help all of us. It's a larger problem than just sitting in traffic for an extra 5 minutes.
Will
you help me on
it's going
that
to be
one?
more than 5 minutes, but yeah, we do need to work. And I just hope that they look at making it.
Yeah, maybe he is. I haven't seen the
I
presentation.
think that I think it needs to be done to make it work.
Okay.
That's the only
Are you coming on April 12th?
I'll try to. Yeah.
Okay, because he's asking for input.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
FYI, I told him at the luncheon Friday, I gave him my card. Well, he asked me for my card. I said, I want to be on your, he's got a cesspool task force.
Oh, there you go.
So
And you're the guy.
I wanted to get on it. It's horrible. Why do I want to get on this? Excuse me, shit. This is kind of a shit list.
Because you know
So-
what people don't realize, and I'm learning just from this experience of talking to Lance every once a month. My son is getting a degree in water resource management,
That's great.
and he is maybe he's going to do an internship at the Portland wastewater treatment plant.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he realizes there's a future
There's a
in wastewater
huge
treatment.
future
And every city
the
has
nation.
to figure out what
Yeah.
they're doing with their waste.
Yep.
Right? And so as citizens, I think that it was almost like when I grew up in Silicon Valley, I did not know where my food came from. I don't know where my waste went.
Yeah.
People don't know where their stuff comes in or goes out.
Push that lever and
right. It's like,
over
see
with.
ya,
Yeah.
and your food comes in and it happens to show up.
Yeah.
Where then we start talking about sustainability and we talk about like farming, and then we have to start talking about wastewater treatment and septic and sewer and everything else. And I think that if more people start realizing this concept of living on an island where people have things coming in and things leaving in a variety of ways, that has to be managed.
Yep.
And
Has to be
yet someone
managed
has to pay for it.
And they're good. They were giving some grants at university at UH. That was part of a program that they had to get some of the kids that are coming out of high school and going to UH.
Yeah.
Giving them grants to get into that field.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing. I mean, that's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
If your kids are struggling, if you want to go to college and come out with a career that you know that they need, that is one of them. That doesn't mean you're going to be walking through the sewers clearing clogs. You're going to be, everything's electronic and managing these things these days, you know, and you have to do these things, and we need the people for it. So
Yeah. And it's a science, really.
Yeah, it's a science. It's, you need that.
And remember like a long time ago, the last thing you want your kid to do is like, be a garbage collector.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a solid job with a solid paycheck.
Exactly. With benefits and everything else.
Yeah.
And you can get out of, it helps with the student loans and everything else. We get into something that's good paying right out of college.
Yeah.
Something good. So.
Yeah. So we'll see how
All
that
right.
goes. So, okay.
I know
So
Eric's
is there
telling us
any
to wrap
other
it up. We're
questions?
good.
Eric's like this. He's doing the whole wrap it up thing. He's giving me like, okay. So if you guys want to see Lance do a smaller update, but we're going to be talking a little bit more about what's going on with the economy and trends. We're doing the All Island update at the end of the month, the last Thursday of the month at 4:00. So you guys can tune back in.
Yeah.
Leave questions if you want over on YouTube land. We try and answer your questions. You can always contact Lance or me. I put both of our contact information below. Don't forget that Lance sells real estate. I sell real estate. Eric sells real estate. Kimmy sells real estate. We're awesome
Four
because
realtors here,
yep.
so.
Because we volunteer our time every month to provide this information for you guys. And I
You
know a
one
variety.
thing-
What?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Well, I was
cut
saying
you
a
off.
lot of people find this valuable. See, there
Yeah.
she is. Yeah, there you go.
One of the things I was going to note is we've done a lot of Facebook Live, and it's going away. They're taking down all of our old videos that are over 30 days old. That's okay. Julie has them up on YouTube. So if you're watching this down the road and you see something and you want to go back and see some of our older stuff, go to the YouTube channel. What is that?
It's 365 Hawaii Real Estate Minute.
Okay.
Okay, and also I gotta tell you, Eric's doing something funny. Oh, am I doing something? Oh, sorry. Eric's like, I'm always a saloon girl. I looked at a
Without
video.
the man behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We would be lost.
I was looking at the video that we did just like 3 years ago, and it was like so like just in the very beginning stages of us doing this. We have come so far, you guys. I just want you to know. But yes, if you want to actually go back and see how 3 years ago we were talking about how a market was completely different. Just 3 years ago, we were having like total different conversation.
Yeah.
So so hopefully the economy does its thing. That
Yep.
it kind of just chugs. But we do think that, and Eric suggested this, and I'm just going to throw it out. If the market goes down, with the economy going down, the interest rates could get better.
To
Right?
stimulate the economy.
Right.
Again,
And so instead of what the Fed and what NAR and Zillow were saying for this year, just sticking at 6.3 across the whole year, it could go down.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna just say, grab your beer and hold on.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Get your hand, hang on to Bessie and go, oh, let's
Hold
see.
my beer. Watch this. Here we go.
Hold my beer. So, okay, you guys. So we will see you guys next month. And thanks for watching, you guys. And again, we're just happy to be here. And 365 Hawaii would like to see if anybody who wants to move to the island wants to get involved with volunteerism. So you can go to 365hawaiiliving.com and join the Ohana, and we'll get you hooked in, and you guys can be part of the community.
This is volunteer month too, isn't it? Like for the world or for the? I think it's like a volunteer month for the state, but
No,
I don't want to go down that. We will. Thank you guys. Aloha. Appreciate you